The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
It's a Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Think of all that we will share. Disney updates and fandom will take you everywhere. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters that will be together. Oh, 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 join our Neverland Clubhouse, yeah, yeah, yeah. Two is twice as nice as one. Memories of friends and family, everybody is welcome. It's Courtney and Kelly, two sisters guiding you through Disney. Together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our 9th episode of the Neverland Clubhouse. This is the Disney podcast where we go to different park lands to share Disney stories, news, and what's going on with Disney Plus. We are your tour guides through Disney fandom. I'm Kelly, and this is my sister, Courtney.
Hey everyone! Today we will be taking you to Adventureland to share some tips and tricks we learned after going to Disneyland on June 18th. This is after the COVID-19 restrictions were lifted, and it's a whole new world. Then we will head to Tomorrowland to go over some news and updates to the park. So let's jump in our double-decker bus and head on over to Adventureland.
Since we were at Disneyland both before and after COVID restrictions were lifted, we wanted to share some tips on the changes we encountered on June 18th and discuss how that differed from earlier in the month.
Yeah, one of the big changes that we encountered was capacity. Not capacity in the parks, because the parks are still at 35% full. They are not 100% full. But capacity on rides is now at 100%. So they are putting parties together on the rides, and there's no social distancing in the lines anymore. People can be as close to you as they once were pre-COVID. But with all that said, some areas in the park are still not open. So because they haven't hired back everybody yet, they haven't filled all those roles. So not everything is open yet.
Correct. But you still need a park reservation. So they're still monitoring and limiting capacity. And I actually think that they should not take that away from the parks. And Josh Tomorrow, president of the theme parks of Disney World and Disneyland, said that that's not going away anytime soon. And I'm actually kind of glad about that, because going to Disneyland as an annual pass holder, of course, I didn't care if it was crowded, because I didn't care if I got on all the rides. I didn't care if I saw the shows or anything like that. But people around us who weren't annual pass holders kept saying that it was really crowded, and it was really crowded all the time. So I think if they have a more control over the capacity, then people will have a better time for their money at the parks.
Yes, I agree. It definitely has controlled some of it. I think it's still scaring some people away a little bit, though. But maybe as people get used to the reservation system, it'll get more into the flow. The one good thing after that, though, is that Toy Story lot is back open, so they do have the buses running.
Yes, if you don't want to walk the tram route, now you can ride the bus.
Exactly. And so, but the one thing is they are considered federal transportation. So, because they're run by the ART buses of Orange County. So you do have to wear your mask. So you can't just go to Disneyland without a mask. You have to still bring it with you, because there are certain places that you do need to still wear them, mainly on transportation. So I would say if you are parking at Toy Story lot, then you're going to have to wear your mask on the ride over.
The Toy Story lot is a good option, because you go through security at Toy Story lot before you hit the park. So you don't have to go through security twice, and you can walk right into the parks.
That's true, except it does stop at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you get there after 11, then when you get on the bus before you go through security, and you'll have to go through security like if you were to walk over.
Well, at that point, security lines would be pretty non-existent at that point.
Yeah.
So how did it feel not wearing your mask at Disneyland?
For me, it was a tiny bit strange. I kept looking around and being like, this feels weird. Just because the last time we were there like 2 weeks before, and everybody was like, you have to wear your mask, make sure it's up over your nose. And it just, for doing that for so long, it did feel a little bit weird, but it also was a little bit of a stress relief because we are fully vaccinated. We did not wear our masks the whole time. The only time we did wear our mask was on the Toy Story bus. So it was nice to not have to worry about putting it on and off, but it did feel a little weird for the first part of the day. How about you?
Well, because I've been working in this pandemic since last May, I went back to work super early. I feel very comfortable. I'm fully vaccinated without the mask around other people. And we've been going and doing things at Universal and Disneyland and things like that. So I definitely felt fine not wearing the mask. I loved not having to wear it in the 90, 89-degree heat. Because the sweat was real.
It was muggy.
But, if I ever felt uncomfortable, I knew that I had a mask because we did bring them. I personally didn't feel like I needed the mask. But if you do feel like you need the mask, you can wear it. There's no one saying you can't.
Yeah. I mean, we did bring up my best friend, Nicole, with us. And so I told her, I was like, they did lift the mask restrictions. If you at any time feel uncomfortable, you can always wear your mask. She had not been to Disneyland before COVID restrictions
Or
were
out
lifted.
really in general.
Yeah. We only went to Universal one time, and it was before restrictions were lifted. And even then, people going to Universal were not totally following the restrictions to a T as they have been like earlier in the pandemic. And so she noticed that a lot, that people weren't really social distancing at Universal. But she's fully vaccinated. She didn't feel uncomfortable at all. But I did say, we do have to wear our masks on transportation, so you'll always have it with you. So if you do feel uncomfortable, you can wear it.
How did you feel the percentage-wise? How many people were wearing masks versus not wearing masks?
I feel like maybe 45% people were wearing masks, because most people were not wearing masks, not even indoors, really. I mean, I did see a lot of kids wearing them indoors, but definitely most people outdoors were not wearing masks.
Right. Yeah. I kind of feel the same. It's just all depending on your comfortability and whether you're vaccinated or not.
Yeah. All right. So we do have to talk about our boarding groups, because we actually did get a boarding group for Web Slingers this morning.
Okay. But first, I want to talk about the inconsistency of these boarding groups.
Yes.
Because I'm usually the one that tries for these boarding groups. So in June, when we went to Avengers Campus opening day, we were trying for our boarding groups, and we're pretty confident because we had a rise of the resistance in our back pocket, and a lot of our friends were pretty confident too that they could get these boarding groups. And of course, the first day we didn't get our boarding group. I don't think anybody we knew did, except for one person.
Yeah. Nope.
We ended up getting a backup boarding group at the end of the day, and the backup group never got called on the opening day. There is a very short window to get these boarding groups.
So that made us very nervous for this June 18th trip. So June 18th came, and we were at home, and we did not leave home until after we tried to get Web Slingers boarding group. And what happened, Kelly?
Well, we got boarding group number 14.
And so our tip is be in a room exactly where your router is.
Because Courtney was like, go near the router. And that's what I did. And I was fast on it. And I got boarding group number 14, which is amazing. The lowest boarding group we ever got.
But it's also very stressful now.
Except that we live about 45 minutes to an hour away from Disneyland. We leave about 7:15-ish after we got our boarding group. And so when we got to Toy Story, we had to go through security and get on a bus.
It was 8:28 when we got there. It was 8:28.
And our boarding group had already been called.
Yeah, it got called at 8:10.
at 8:10. Now, mind you, California Adventure says that it does not open till 9 o'clock. But our
I know
app,
it said, please return by 9:10. And we were like, it's already been called. Why?
So my tip is to screenshot screenshot your boarding group. When those passes become available, screenshot those passes, because we literally were getting in line for Avengers Campus to show them our boarding group at 9:10. Our friend's phone already had said that our boarding pass had expired. The only way that I had the boarding passes was because I screenshotted them, and I actually left them open on my phone as I was going through the turnstiles, and I still had them. Now, I don't know if the cast members would have still let us in or not. I would hope so, because the park didn't even open until 9.
I know, right?
But just be careful of those early boarding groups, man. I didn't expect them to call them so early.
They re-implemented rope drop, so they weren't even letting you go past a certain point. So I was not expecting them to call the boarding groups at 8:10 in the morning when the park really doesn't open until 9 a.m.
Right. And then back to June, like 5th, when we were getting the boarding groups for web slingers on that weekend, one of the days the tickets weren't checked when I was trying to get boarding groups. So the technology fails you all the time, and boarding groups can be hard to get. But our tip is, if you get them, screenshot it so that you at least have them on your phone, and make sure you get there with plenty of time to get in lines and security and buses and all of that.
Yes. So what did we think of web slingers when we actually did get to ride it, Cal?
Okay, so the first time we rode web slingers, I thought it was so chaotic. There was so many things coming at you. It's 3D. There was the spider bots everywhere. And I didn't quite understand what was happening in the different scenes. So all I knew was I was shooting, and I was shooting at the spider bots, and I was getting points. That's all I knew the first time I rode it. The second time I rode it, I enjoyed it much more. I was able to read instructions on walls, kind of get a feel for it through different people who had been on it, different stories. And I enjoyed it much more aiming for something that I knew I was aiming for, like the glowing spiders, or like trying to hold your web and sling and explode the spiders and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it much more. How about you?
I mean, I kind of felt the same way. It was kind of, I couldn't tell exactly what was going on for the very first time, just because I was so excited that we were actually on it. And I didn't realize like the 4 screens is like 4 different areas of Avengers Campus itself. And also, because there's a Guardians of the Galaxy Tivians, the collector's room. There's over by the headquarters. Like there's 4 different places all over the screens, in the background. I didn't notice that the first time. I was just kind of like trying to get all these spiders, that are flinging at me because it's 3D. The second time I rode, yes, I did try and do the whole like throw my hand at something and try to like fling it and be more precise with stuff. But also I am the one who did buy the hand enhancement or the web enhancement for the ride. And let me tell you, that sucker is heavy. It is 2 separate pieces. There's the part that is supposed to be the web, and then there's the contraption that goes on your arm. And like you're just throwing your arms all whichever way, and even that in itself is tiring. And if you add on about like 3, I don't know if I want to say like 3 more pounds, but like it definitely feels heavy, especially if you have like small arms like I do. It definitely weighs it down. So I would say that even with the web enhancement, I still got the lowest score both times.
Yeah, because I believe our friend Nicole got a higher score than you as well. and it was her first time riding. We'll post a picture of those scores. I have it. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I don't know if I just don't know how to use it correctly. Like if the thing that's supposed to act like the web shooter, I wasn't aiming it at the thing that I was trying to shoot at. I don't know, but I do know that it was very heavy. My arm got way more tired. So that might have had some thing to do with my low score too. So just be aware of that after spending $55 on it.
Yeah. But the technology of this ride is pretty cool though, because when you sit down, it kind of like motion caps you.
Yeah.
And tries to figure out your arm movements, and you each get a different color. I think I was purple. No, I was red once, and I think I was yellow the next or something. But there's
Yeah,
like
I think
4
I might
different
have.
colors.
Yeah, I might have been purple myself. But also, if you do have the enhancement, it automatically detects that, and it gives you different webs depending on which enhancement you have. So it does automatically when it's doing that motion capture thing, it does detect whether or not you have the enhancement.
Right. So how did you like the queue for this ride?
Well, I thought it was very innovative. I liked the wall with the different color bricks on it. I did like the fact that they were testing the web out in the middle of the queue. The first time we went on it, it did take us backstage, kind of like back there a little bit, even because social distancing. So it was longer than it looked like. So it did use the backstage area. That was a little bit bland because they weren't probably planning on using that queue. But all in all, I really liked it. It's very short queue compared to other
Well, the
queues.
outside is very, very short, but it's
Yeah.
also very hot.
Yes.
There is a huge fan.
Oh yeah, you can't talk because it's just so loud. They have the big fans. Like instead of having the spritzers like in Soarin', the misters, they have the big old fan. So
which is nice because it's hot. So how is the immersiveness of this ride?
I would not. Everybody kind of compares it to Rise of the Resistance. I would not compare it to Rise of the Resistance. The only thing about it that I would, the only thing I would compare to it as Rise of the Resistance is that you have to get a boarding group. I would compare it more to Toy Story Mania or Smuggler's Run when that opened up, because it is a screen ride. It is an interactive. You're doing things like to get a score. So it's one of those Buzz Lightyear, Smuggler's Run, Toy Story Mania, those kind of things. But yeah, I feel like this one, once the initial novelty of it dies down, it's going to be a 45-minute wait at most, maybe, except on really busy days when it'll go up. I know demand for it will be a long time because, people can't go as often as they want, but I do think that once the novelty wears off, it'll be a 45-minute wait or less. Because it does consistently move. So like, I don't feel like that line's going to get too much longer.
Well, and they can at least fit 4 to 5 little ones, like, in a car on each side.
So you can get 8 to 10 people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a good ride to go on, just to maybe like compete with your party or something, so you can get the best score. I wonder if you can max it out, like you can max out Buzz Lightyear and get Galactic
I don't know.
Hero.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to see if you can max it out.
Well, I think every game has a max, right? Otherwise, you can go on for infinity.
I don't know. Maybe it goes to infinity.
I mean, I've never got Galactic Hero, so I have no idea. So
yeah, neither have I. I haven't even gotten close. But that brings us to Avengers Campus, because we hung out in Avengers Campus for a little bit on the 18th. And of course, we went on opening weekend. But now you can find the show times of the character shows in your mobile app.
Yeah.
Under the characters and shows. We did that. I looked in the app and was like, okay, it's like almost 10 o'clock. Spider-Man's going to be coming out and doing his show. And then at 10:15,
15.
Black Widow was coming out. And then at 10:35, the Dora Milaje was coming out. So like right at that 10 o'clock hour, everything kind of starts.
Yeah,
Before
there was
that,
nothing before 10 o'clock.
There was nothing before 10 o'clock. So you definitely, if you're going to want to see these shows, you're going to want to find the characters, definitely go over to Avengers Campus in the morning. The shows kind of did taper off. I think Doctor Strange was the latest show.
About 7:45, right?
Yeah, and it didn't start till later in the day either. So I think
it didn't start
like
till
after
2.
3. Or,
Oh,
yeah, 2 or 3.
I thought the earliest one was like about 2:45.
It might have been, so like almost 3. And but it was so much fun to show our friend at Avengers Campus when we got to show her the shows. How are you feeling about Avengers Campus?
Right now, after this most recent trip, I would say that if you're not with other people who really like Marvel, you're not going to stay in there a long time. Our friend was ready to go just after watching the Spider-Man show and Black Widow show, because she hadn't been there in a while either. So she was mostly looking forward to getting onto Guardians and going and doing actual rides, because at that point we had only done Web Slingers because we had a boarding group for it. So we really hadn't done much when we first
really,
got
the park
there.
had only been open an hour.
Yeah, but like it felt like we took a long time getting away from there. And also she hadn't been to Disneyland in a long time. So she was definitely wanting to get over to Disneyland side. So I would say I still really love the land. I think there's a ton of things to do, but I do like the fact that they are now telling you the times. I know they wanted it to be immersive and just kind of things just kind of happened. And you didn't know when it was, but then you get the problem of people not leaving. Leaving.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, they hadn't taken the barriers down. So there's still lines at certain times of the day. So it wasn't like opening weekend where there was just a constant line, but there was a line at certain times of the day to get into the land, and you could only enter from one side at this point. I did just see an update that they have removed the barriers now. You could go in from the car side, you can go in from Hollywoodland, the 3 main access points to get into the land are now fully open. There is no more barriers from what I've seen online.
Right.
So
Yeah,
at
from
this
what I've
point,
seen too.
so at this point there are barriers. So again, once you leave the land, if there is a line, you have to stand in line and get back in line. So at that point, we were just kind of like, okay, we've done Web Slingers. She's not really into the shows. We're cool. We're not sticking around until after 2 p.m. because we got other stuff to do. So for the Doctor Strange show, and that was about it for Avengers Campus for us. And we
did go on Guardians. Yeah, we did go on Guardians, but we did do some photo pass.
Oh yeah, we did.
Did do some photo pass in the land, which I am really enjoying in Avengers Campus. The magic shots that they do in Avengers Campus are some of my favorite magic shots that they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
We got one this time where they imposed spider bots and told us to like sling our webs at the spider bots, and they were all over, and they said to do like a fighting pose, and we'll post these pictures, but they are so cool. The Doctor Strange picture that I have of that cool little symbol that they had,
it's like your
imposed
magic
on our hands. I love that one. The Ant-Man growing, the Ant-Man and Wasp on our shoulders. Those pictures are so cool. I love that. I also love that Avengers Campus keeps changing. It's only been open like 3 weeks. And
I know, and Loki already has a different outfit.
Yes. So they told us that this land was going to evolve and change with the MCU, Disney Plus shows, the movies that are coming out. And I am so excited for what this could possibly mean for the future. of Avengers Campus.
Yes, so that is definitely exciting. I haven't seen them change it for the third week of the show, but definitely like he already changed from his like Asgardian god outfit to his TVA prisoner
Well,
suit.
he had that prisoner outfit.
Yeah, the prisoner suit, and then he's in the jacket like when he works at the TVA. So
yeah,
that's his variant on the back. So
yeah,
they definitely have.
And of course, the Stage 17 backlot shop. That's where all your Avengers Campus merch is, really. The one little web supplier store in Avengers Campus just really has Spider-Man stuff. So if you're looking for that Marvel merchandise, the Stage 17 backlot shop is your go-to.
And I've just a little interject thing. I think Avengers Campus will eventually take over Hollywoodland because they already have.
Well, right now, Hollywoodland
it is PhilharMagic, Monsters Inc. ride, and then all of these different photo ops for Marvel entities. So I mean, just be done with it and just annex it now. I think.
Yeah, they've got to do something with it because even if opening weekend, okay, when Avengers Campus was blocked off, you and I discussed this a little bit that weekend where there wasn't a whole lot to do when Guardians was blocked off into Avengers Campus. Radiator Springs was over a 90-minute wait. Incredicoaster was the longest I've seen it at like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And everything else, just there was nothing to do. There
really wasn't.
A really long line for a coffee cart.
That was kind of ridiculous.
That was a mobile order. So I'm glad that it didn't take them very long to open up Avengers Campus, because now going in and out freely out of that land, there's more to do over in Disney's California Adventure. I just wish that there was shade.
Yeah.
There is no shade.
No shade.
We got very sunburned. All right. So after Avengers Campus, Courtney got us a reservation for the Alfresco Tasting Terrace, and this is for Legacy Pass holders only.
Yes. I was so fortunate to get this when they first opened up reservations. We got to sit upstairs above the Wine Trattoria. It hadn't opened. Actually, it was the first day that Wine Country Trattoria had reopened. So they were getting ready to reopen the restaurant as well, but we sat above the restaurant. And we had a nice view of where Goofy and Max were fishing off of the San Francisco, I think, pier is what it is.
Yeah.
Is what it's supposed to be.
Kind of a pier.
And it's mostly alcoholic beverages and adult beverages and little tasters. Like, I wouldn't call it like a lunch menu, but it definitely has some bits and bites there. Like, we got a charcuterie plate.
The waiters there were fairly new, so they were still learning the menu. But he brought back some answers for us when we asked what the cheeses were and what the meats were and all of that. And it was a nice little sit-down snack. I definitely loved the view and the cool atmosphere.
What I didn't realize, so I got us an 11:40 reservation, and I didn't realize they didn't open until 11:30. So we went over there a little bit early, and they were like, "Okay, cool, but we're not exactly open yet." And I was like, "I didn't realize we got one of the first reservations." So it was at 11:40 in the morning, which gave us a perfect like sit down, relaxing moment to try and get Rise of the Resistance, because we had already gone through Web Slingers.
Yes, because of that really early boarding group and really early getting called, we were available to get our Rise of the Resistance boarding pass, which we then ended up getting group 119.
Which was very stressful because I had no service, so I could not look at the world clock. And I was like, I don't know what time it is. And Kelly's just like, join. And I was like, yeah. And my friend's just going there, like, what is your guys' problem?
Yeah, Nicole was like, why are you freaking out?
And I was like, because the world clock is not working.
we had planned that we were both going to try, me and Nicole, because she had seemed to have a better phone service at the time. But she ended up laughing and missing 12 o'clock, and I was already on it.
And I was like, this is why we freak out. This is why we freak out.
So stressful. But again, a very low boarding group for a 12 o'clock boarding pass time, 119. It was called basically right after we could park hop.
Yeah. Yeah, they were already on like group like 86 or 97 by the time we got it. So we just had enough time to park hop over there and get some lunch and then go on Rise of the Resistance basically.
Which was insane. I've never seen it where like you could get web slingers, lowest boarding group we ever got, and then Rise, another really low boarding group. And again, I screenshotted our boarding group and I screenshotted our passes. We did make it in time. But the line was a little longer than I thought it was going to be. I think we waited about maybe 40 minutes in that line.
And for Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're using the whole like queue, the regular queue. They're no longer taking you through the fast lane. And I think no, I don't think it went down or anything. I just think there was, because they're not doing any social distancing on it, they can get more people on the vehicles. So I think there was more people in line at a time. So, and also a good thing to note is all the pre-shows are back. Even on Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket was there and Ray and BB-8 were back, and you can watch the pre-show. They're not limiting you to 15 minutes anymore on those. So everything that has a pre-show, they're no on Haunted Mansion. They're no longer letting you in on that secret door. They're definitely making everybody go through the stretching room. They can pack that fully. They are definitely saying everybody go to the dead center of the room and packing it in tightly. So there's no more social distancing on that.
Yeah. But our lunch, we went to Alien Pizza Planet.
Yes.
And we did get to mobile order there. Mobile order is now available at an Alien Pizza Planet. We do recommend that you do your mobile orders, especially for lunch when you get there. And when you're at lunch, think about dinner. Yes. Because mobile order times are still going pretty fast, even though they're kind of letting them intermittently go. But Disneyland, mobile order times are still going.
Yeah, and the
fast.
one thing that is different with the Alien is it used to be that you could go up to the salad bar area or the pasta area or the pizza area. They are no longer doing that because that's kind of a buffet style. So they still haven't brought back buffet style yet. So you go in there and there's like 3 registers and they basically hand you the food. You don't go up to the 3 different stations. It's all right there at the registers now.
Yeah. You can still get your own drinks, and actually there's like Coca-Cola freestyle machines in there now, is what I noticed. And so everything's kind of open, yet you still can't go up to them cafeteria style and get the food. You order it, and then they bring it to you. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about Rise of the Resistance. We did go on it after lunch. The pre-show was back, which was amazing, but the Kylo Ren animatronic wasn't working.
I know, he was totally missing, and I was like, we were in that room, and he did like, the carts did the force push motion, but nobody was there. It was really weird. And my friend had never been on Rise of the Resistance. Nicole had never been on it. And so she had no idea. She was like, that's cool. Because you're just basically looking out into space behind where the animatronic usually is. And so she didn't know the difference, but me and Kelly were like, this is really weird because we're being force pushed and Kylo's not here. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. He may have went down. I don't know if he's back installed. Nobody's online has any pictures or anything. So I don't know what happened, but Kylo was not in there.
Yeah, technology breaks sometimes, and at least like the whole ride didn't break down, and we were able to still go on it. Our friends still had a bunch of fun, appreciated the ride for what it was, and of course, Rise of Resistance is the best ride at Disneyland right now, and it is amazing.
Yes.
I love it. But yes, the markers were gone and we were sitting with other people. So yeah, the plexiglass is gone. So if you feel uncomfortable, just wear your mask. It's fine. So we were very lucky. We were very lucky this trip because we also had an Oga's Cantina reservation.
Yes.
And this was the first day it was open. And again, it's back to no social distancing and you will be put with other parties. Still the standing room, not very much seating. So it's just the same old Ogas. And I believe you got your favorite drink.
Oh yeah, I got a Jedi mind trick and I got a fuzzy tauntaun. And I made my friend get a fuzzy tauntaun for the first time ever. And yeah, her mouth was very much buzzing. So she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "I know." So it was really fun, shocking her with the fuzzy tauntaun buzz foam. And we got to a standing room table right in front of DJ Rex. So we had a good view of him. But
Yes.
yeah, they sat us with or stood us next to another party. So yeah, social distancing is gone.
Yeah. But I was able to order
Oh, Mugon tea, right?
the
Mugen
Mugan
tea.
tea. And it was the weirdest drink I think I've ever had. Chocolate milk, tea, and
Cinnamon, right?
cinnamon, whipped cream, and cinnamon cereal on top.
It was not good.
It was not good. It was not
It
good.
tasted like watered down chocolate milk. It was not good.
Yeah. I was thinking kind of like, oh, it kind of sounds like a chai tea. Not anything like a chai tea. But I did get a Java juice, which is one of my favorites, which is just a bunch of fruit juices with some boba. Love that one. So Java juice is my pick for that.
Yeah. Star Tours was a 5-minute wait the whole day. That was
The whole
weird.
day.
The whole
Yeah,
day.
the whole day. I never moved, never went up, never went down. I watched it in the app like crazy. I think you could have gone on that ride like 100 times that day.
Yeah.
Like I
It's just
don't know what
weird.
was happening with it. It was weird, very very interesting because I know Star Tours can get up to at least a 45-minute wait
Yeah.
in normal times. So the fact that everything was kind of open and all the rooms were working, I guess.
Yeah.
Um so and you didn't have any plexiglass or anything like that. So it was a 5-minute wait the whole day. We ended the trip, the 3-day trip with Gibson Girl ice cream, and we ended this trip with Gibson Girl ice cream. We love doing that. We used to do that with our mother when we would go in high school. We
Yeah.
would end the trip at Gibson Girl, and Gibson Girl is actually open till about 9:30. You can get ice cream, and you can mobile order it until then, and you can just sit in front of the castle
We sat at Jolly Holiday.
and just take in the ambience of the night. It was a great day. It was a very, very great day. And I know that you wanted to make it so perfect for your friend Nicole because she hadn't been to Disneyland in a long time, but she also hadn't been there in a while without her kids.
Yes.
So she hadn't been able to experience the more adult rides,
Disney.
attractions, Galaxy's Edge, and things like that. So I think you accomplished a perfect
Yeah.
day for her.
I got everything done that I wanted to do. So that was great. So, how do we feel about the restrictions being relaxed and COVID protocols being rolled back for fully vaccinated people?
Like I was saying, I think I'm comfortable with it because I'm vaccinated, because I'm with people in my everyday job every day. So you have to find your own comfort level with it. if you are not comfortable being around people yet, if you're not comfortable around crowds and people without masks, maybe it's not the time to go to Disneyland right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like this is a step in the right direction. We need everything to go back to normal, and I like to see that headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I do too. I think if you're okay with being without a mask, do it. If not, then still wear it. Nobody's going to judge you. Um, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's a step that we all need to take.
Right. So with everything heading back to normal, what would we still like to see brought back to the park?
I want to see trams. I don't want to walk from Mickey and Friends anymore. I want the trams
I
back.
know, I think we'll be parking at Toy Story until trams are back.
Yeah, trams. And I definitely want my annual pass back. Me and my friend Susan, we always are like, okay, when are they coming back? We need passes back now. Who can we tell?
Josh says relatively soon.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. And he also calls it a membership program.
No! Stop using Bob Chapek language.
I know. I don't know what that means. The only hope that I have is that he says that they're basing it off of frequent visitors' habits.
And super fans.
Apparently and super fans. So apparently they've surveyed people, and we'll see what comes out of that. But annual passes need to come back. I've spent way too much money on way too many tickets.
I want fast passes too. I know people are like, oh, but it makes it look better without it. And I'm like, does it?
I do have a question for you about fast passes, because right now, as limited capacity it is, ride times and wait times are not very long. If they add fast pass back to the park, we do know a ratio of a rumored ratio of about 10 fast pass people to every one regular line person, standby person, which makes the standby lines even longer. So we know that they have not brought back fast passes to Walt Disney World yet either. Do you think they will bring them back?
Yes and no. I think it'll be in a different way, possibly. I think they like the idea of fast passes for their higher attractions, especially now that like Matterhorn is opening back up, because people are waiting for the higher attractions right now, like Space Mountain and Indiana Jones. Like those, they want people to go through all the time. So I think they'll always need a fast pass. I just don't know what it'll look like.
Do you think it'll look like a virtual queue, like Indiana Jones?
Oh God, I hope not, because that is just so stressful. I don't want to.
Well, Indiana Jones wasn't as stressful as Rise or Web. Indiana Jones, you could hold a boarding pass for that as well as Rise or Web, and it didn't go as fast.
I mean, if you could join a virtual queue at any time, I think that would be okay if it moved to that. But if it's going to be like mad dash 3 seconds after, a certain time, then nobody's going to be happy ever. Because everybody all online, all they do is complain about these boarding groups, which I totally get. And I am one of those people, because there have been times where we tried and we did not get a boarding group. So yes, your day is kind of a little bit ruined when you don't get one, but yes, it's fantastic when you do get one, and 3 seconds can make it break it. And I don't feel like that's a good way to start a Disney day. I just don't think that is. And then the stress is horrible. So I don't think that they should have these virtual queue systems for every single ride, but if it's one that you can join at a certain time, like Universal Studios, for example, Secret Life of Pets, like you could scan a QR code and you could join the virtual queue and you could pick a time slot. Now, you couldn't get in line until that time slot, but it let you pick a specific time that you wanted to get in line. If it was something like that, then maybe I would be more open to a virtual queue. But if it's just like hit a join button and hope you get a group, like that's not that's not why I pay $209 to go to the park. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So you brought up Universal and the Secret Lights of Pets queue. That was free,
Yes.
but they do have the Express Pass, which we do have on our annual passes. But to add an Express Pass to get you one time on all the rides, an Express line, it's $70 to add that to a already $100 ticket to Universal.
Yeah.
Would you pay to use an Express Pass or a Fast Pass at Disneyland?
Well, I don't want to say yes because I don't want Disney to do it. I
Well,
kind of like
they
the
already charge you $15 for the Max Pass, which
yeah.
is just so that you can use the Fast Pass on your mobile phone.
That I don't have a
So,
problem with.
right?
But then again, I always had the Signature Plus too before then, and it was included in it because it was the highest tier one.
But
So
if this
for
is an
me,
added expense onto your $209 ticket,
I probably would do it. I probably would do
by
it just
how much? By how much? Because Universal is $70 and their rides are all simulator rides.
No. No, I don't want them to do it. Well,
Yeah,
I know it's
I
not
don't
going to be,
think they
it'll
could.
probably be comparable to that. It'll probably be $70 or more. It'll probably be 75 just to up Universal knowing Disney.
Right.
Just to up them.
Well, I don't think I would pay more than that, honestly.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pay like
because
$100 and something for it. No.
because that's like $279 for a 1-day ticket,
Yeah.
plus your Express or Fast Pass if you had it. I think Disney would have to figure out a way to lower the price of the ticket before they could charge us for something like that. But we know that things are going forward, and in order to get that Fast Pass Express, we may have to pay, and I hope we don't. I really hope we don't.
Yeah, I hope they kind of bring it back to the Max Pass, just like keep it free for people who want to go up and get a paper ticket and then just do the Max Pass and just maybe up it to $30 or something like that, because right now it's $20, but like maybe they could up it just a little bit, just to see where it is, just to have it on your
Yeah.
phone, because it was really convenient to have it on
It
the
is
phone.
a convenience. Okay, and I really want parades to come back and nighttime shows to come back.
Which they
Magic
are.
Happens has to come back. I know we're getting fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks are coming back.
So I'm really hopeful that parades are right behind them. I really want to see the Magic Happens parade. They put way too much money into that parade to have it only go for like
2 weeks.
I really want to see that parade. I cannot wait to see when that happens. I'm so excited. But anything else you want to see come back to the park?
Yeah,
How about character interactions?
Yeah, I do want characters. Well, no, actually, I like them from afar. I do. I mean,
That's
I
kind of what
like
I was
giving them a
thinking
hug
too.
too, but I think that they can see more people this way. Like,
Well,
you
and
don't.
I feel like I see more characters now than I ever have, especially in California Adventure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like making up for the fact that there's not a lot to do in California Adventure. But the Animation Academy just opened up too, and things are starting to open back up over there. So I don't know if we'll see less characters, but I really hope we don't.
I know. I like the little stations that they have set up for them. Like, I like the popsicle sticks around Judy Hopps. I like if you go over to Paradise Grill, like they have the surfboards up for Stitch and Lilo. So like they've made little like coves for them to be in with backdrops, and I like that aspect of it. Now, maybe I would want a little bit of interaction with them, like give them a hug and stuff like that. They get really close for a good picture. But I do kind of like this far away, like don't have to wait in line to interact with them kind of thing too. I don't know. I'm just kind of on the fence with that.
I'm kind of the same on the fence with it because, on the one hand, I don't think you and I ever waited very long to see a character. Whenever we would see a character, it was always probably a 5 minute or one group in front of us type of thing. We never really wanted to hang around and wait in line for the characters.
Right.
That was not our thing. So I'm liking this kind of like just kind of get your selfie, kind of talk to them, have a little interaction, because sometimes they're alone and sometimes you get a pretty good interaction with them.
Yeah, like on the day we went, we did see Vi Murati, and we did have a little bit like a one-on-one conversation with her. A pretty good like 5-minute conversation with her while she was up on the rafters there. And then also while we were going into Smuggler's Run or in the line queue, Chewie and Rey at 2 different times were in by the Millennium Falcon, and they were working on it. Like, but pre-COVID, I'd never seen them over in that area before. I'd always seen them over in the Resistance area, but never over by the Millennium Falcon itself. So
yeah, they were always walking around and playing that kind of storyline where they were kind of having secret meetings and stuff like that. But I really liked watching like Chewie work on the Millennium Falcon. He would accuse people of destroying the Millennium Falcon. He was like, "Was it you?
He got really
was
mad.
it you?" He got really mad. So I kind of like these character interactions. I kind of think it gives the characters more to play with because they have something in their background that they can kind of point to or kind of talk about. Rey asked us about our missions and how many missions were we going on today and all of that. So I kind of really like these pop-up character experiences. I really don't want most of them to go away. I know everybody wants to go up and see Mickey and Minnie and the Fab Five, which I totally am for. Every kid should get to meet and hug Mickey.
Yeah.
But these pop-up character experiences, I don't want them to go away.
Yeah, I don't either. I think they're fun. And you can get cool selfies.
Yes.
Well, we hope that Disneyland keeps moving forward and we'll be back to normal very soon. Now, there has been so many exciting announcements lately. So let's head over to Tomorrowland so we can share them all. So first up, we have a lot of restaurants reopening since being closed for COVID. On June 17th, Rancho del Zocalo Restaurante opened up, as well as Alien Pizza Planet and Oga's Cantina, as well as Docking Bay 7. On July 1st, we're getting the Harbor Galley and Hungry Bear. I'm so excited for Hungry Bear to come back because they have the best funnel cakes.
Oh, yeah. They have seasonal funnel cakes that are just amazing. But you know what I'm excited about?
What?
Smoothies.
Oh, yeah.
Smooshies. I love smooshies. And the corn dog castle.
Oh, yeah, the corn dog. Yeah, corn
because
dogs.
right now you can get a corn dog at Award Wieners, but that's not where you get your corn dog at California Adventure. You get your corn dog at Corn Dog Castle.
Yes, Corn Dog Castle. And then for your you Disneyland Hotel fans, Trader Sam's will be back open on July 2nd when the hotel reopens. And Tangaroa Terrace Tropical Bar and Grill will be there as well. So you'll get the, what do they call it? Everybody really likes the...
Tonga toast.
Tonga toast. Yeah, that's what it is. Tonga toast. Everybody likes Tonga toast. So, yeah, you'll be able to get your Tonga toast back.
Right. But you know what I'm excited about, Courtney?
What?
Disneyland Paris has reopened.
I know. Now all of the Paris, all the Disneyland properties or Disney properties are back open. It's great.
But you know what I'm more even excited about at Disneyland Paris?
What?
The new Marvel Hotel.
I know. Oh my goodness. Yes. This is what makes us think that we need a trip to Paris. I mean, we were already contemplating it, but we need a trip to Paris now. And stay in this Marvel Hotel.
Looking at how much it would cost to get to Paris. It actually is not a bad rate for the Marvel room and tickets, but flight is double that. So I don't think we'll be getting there anytime soon.
We'll have to wait. So the new hotel at Disneyland Paris is called Disney's Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel, and it has 561 rooms, and it is a 4-star hotel, and it includes a contemporary design, nods to Tony Stark's sophisticated tastes. One might find Spider-Man's iconic web in the ceiling of the Spider-Man suite, or Thor's realm of Asgard in the headboard of one of the Avengers suites. The Art of Marvel presidential suite serves up the Stark life with unbridled sophistication across 2 floors, featuring elegant furnishings, exclusive Marvel artwork in each room, and added amenities. So this looks and sounds fantastic. I mean, I know that the Disney Parks blog with this blurb of it did show us the Spider-Man room. I think it had bunk beds in it, and it screams like a little like teenage boy room. It did. It was just
Right.
really
Yeah.
fun.
I want to go to the presidential suite and live the Stark life. That's what I
I
want to
mean, that does sound great, but I mean, Thor's realm of Asgard in the headboards. Like, I want to see how they do that. I mean, they already have the fireworks at the Disneyland Hotel on the headboards. I wanna see what they do with Asgard.
do. Okay, trip to Paris in like 5 years.
Okay, got it.
We'll save up the money.
But also, you know what I'm really, really excited about?
Know what?
Fireworks are coming back. Yeah. So at Walt Disney, I know, but they're coming back to Walt Disney World first on July 1st. So this Thursday, because we're recording before July 1st, they're coming back to Walt Disney World with the Happily Ever After show at Magic Kingdom and Epcot Forever at Epcot.
Oh my gosh. So the Happily Ever After song comes on my Sirius XM Disney Channel station all the time.
I know,
And
right?
I just cry and weep at that song. And we have only seen Happily Ever After like
Twice,
maybe 1.5
Yeah.
times. And I cry every time.
It's such a good show.
Yeah.
And then at Disneyland, it comes back on July 4th. So we will have fireworks for Independence Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it is Mickey's Mixed Magic, which I love it, but that just means it's more projections than fireworks, but it's fine. It's fine. It's Mickey's Mixed Magic.
I love that song. What's that song?
Are you ready?
Everybody get your ears on.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It's a great little compilation of that. So we'll get to have fireworks very, very soon.
Well, speaking of Walt Disney World, the next time you go on Kilimanjaro safaris, you just might see a new addition to the savannah. A new baby boy Maasai giraffe was born.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they
so cute.
Yeah, he's 6 feet tall and 183 pounds. But they didn't tell us their name, but they did say that he has a butterfly birthmark above the right shoulder, so that you can tell he is. But
Oh. Well,
yeah,
those giraffes, they love to stand in the middle of those walkways or those driveways
I know,
when
right?
you're driving around the safari. So you'll probably see one or maybe a couple.
Yeah, so they have a new baby boy giraffe. And then, but that's not the only news that we got from Walt Disney World.
No, we got a whole lot of news from Walt Disney World.
Right. So in October, Disney World will be celebrating their 50th anniversary. And we did learn at the D23 Expo in 2019 that there would be a new nighttime spectacular at Epcot called Harmonious, and that they did say Remy's Ratatouille attraction would be ready, hopefully in time for the 50th anniversary. Well, it was recently announced that those two things will definitely be ready for the anniversary on October 1st, which is the actual anniversary of Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom, specifically.
That's incredible. I
know.
Cannot wait.
But then
to see that show and ride the ride.
Yes, but on top of that, they made some more announcements. It was recently announced that Magic Kingdom will be getting a brand new nighttime show called Disney Enchantment. Now, unfortunately, this will be replacing Happily Ever After. So get your trips in now to go see it, because come October 1st, it will be something completely new.
Well, Disney Enchantment sounds good, and They always do wonderful music with the fireworks, so I'm excited to see what that
And
one's
they
all
always one up themselves. So, and
about. Oh
they
yeah.
did say that there'll be projections that'll come from Cinderella's castle down through Main Street, just like in Mickey's McMagic at Disneyland. So
Disneyland's
hopefully,
had that for a few
yeah,
fireworks shows now, so I'm glad Walt Disney World's getting that too.
yeah. And Disney's Animal Kingdom is getting some new daytime entertainment. They're getting a show called Kite Tales, which in the rendering it showed that people will be standing on barges out in the lake where they used to do rivers of light, and they will be having kites up in the air that look like all the different Disney animals, like from characters from The Lion King, from The Jungle Book, like anything that has a animal character on it could potentially end up in this show. Not much detail was given, but they did say it was going to be playing throughout the day. So there's going to be multiple showings of this new Kite Tales.
Oh, okay. I think that'll be cool. Kind of a little daytime show on that river that they had, the Rivers of Light. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that's good because right now it's kind of used as a cavalcade thing, I think,
yeah.
for the characters. But you really need to utilize the river.
I don't think
So
they ever really utilized the river too much as that
not in the
had
daytime.
yeah, it was originally intended for something else, and I think when it first opened, there was a ride there. I've heard that on multiple occasions, but the ride has become extinct, and they haven't really utilized it yet so far. So,
So our Mickey and friends will have new costumes.
yeah,
They're going to be
iridescent costumes.
iridescent costumes. This was kind of like for what Disneyland did for the 50th.
Like, I can't remember their 50th anniversaries, but I think it was all golden costumes that they had.
Mm,
So this 50th, they're having iridescent ones, which is kind of like a blue purplish
mm.
costumes. And I do know for a fact that Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and I think Daisy as well as Chip and Dale, I think they will all have iridescent costumes. The Fab Five plus their friends.
Got it.
And then also they announced that there will be 50 golden statues of different characters displayed throughout the 4 theme parks. And 25 of them will be in Magic Kingdom. And then the rest will be sprinkled out between the three other parks. And they did say that you could interact with the sculptures in fun and surprising ways. So I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe they'll use the app, the Disney World app, to interact with them, or maybe it'll be like a scavenger hunt. We don't know yet, but they did say surprising interacting ways.
Yeah, did you see that their photo pass? Their photo pass has kind of changed too. They can add characters, moving characters into their photo pass.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. That's
Yeah.
cool. Huh. But last but not least, the Contemporary is getting an update too. Huh.
I saw that. It's all the Incredibles.
Yeah, so it's getting a Pixar overlay of all of the rooms. The pictures that I saw was of The Incredibles, but then they did say the lobby is closing for renovation too. So maybe they're putting more um, Pixar characters in the Contemporary. Maybe.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know exactly how I feel about it.
The Incredibles room looked really fun with the characters. But the Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World is a deluxe resort for somebody that doesn't know who the Contemporary Resort is. It is right next to Magic Kingdom, and the monorail goes through it. Right now, it doesn't really have a
A
theme
Disney
to
themed.
it, a Disney theme. It has a little bit of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, well, it was
I'm
one of the
correct.
first hotels that was built along Magic Kingdom. So yeah, it does have a Sleeping Beauty mural that Mary Blair, I believe, created.
Right. So giving it a theming, I don't know how I feel about the deluxe resort having the characters in there. But the Polynesian just added Moana
Yeah.
to their resort as well, and that will be opening soon as well. We'll see. I thought that Moana kind of matched the Polynesian a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know if
The
the Incredibles or Pixar kind of matches, but we'll see.
So the Contemporary and the Incredibles both have kind of like a mid-century feel. So they kind of go together. But I don't know how I feel about adding all those characters into a deluxe resort. But it looks
We'll
amazing.
know when we see it, and the pictures look fantastic. So I guess it'll work.
It'll work for now. Till they change it.
Yeah. Well, we are so excited to see all of the 50th anniversary spectaculars when they debut. And that about wraps up another episode of Neverland Clubhouse.
Yes, we want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rob Dellinger for composing our theme song. To hear more of Rob's work and to see where he will be playing next, please go to his website, alpharhythmkings.com.
We are part of the Skywalking Network, Skynet, where you can also find other great shows like Talking Apes,
Classic Marvel Star Wars comics,
the Max Effects podcast,
Resilience Squadron podcast,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the flagship show Skywalking Through Neverland. Sign up for the weekly Skywalking Network newsletter. The sign-up form is available in our show notes. You can check out all of the Skywalking Network podcasts and articles at skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
You can follow us on social media on Instagram at Neverland Clubhouse Pod, at CLT8622, and at Kelly Turkel. You can also find us on Facebook at Kelly Turkel and Courtney Turkel.
You can also find us in the Skywalking Through Neverland Facebook group. Just search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group. Request to join, and then answer the questions that pop up. Do it, or we can't let you in. All right, then. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. Join us for our next adventure from the Neverland Clubhouse.